King Drew.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We back. We on the first episode. We are here. I'm excited to get to this new podcast we created called The First and Foremost, where we're gonna be talking some high school football. We're gonna talk some basketball. We're gonna talk some sports in general. I'm super excited about this. First and foremost, if you don't know who I am, my name is Jerome Jones. I'm from the Inside the Hatches crew. We've been on the Air It Out podcast, the RPO podcast, and now we have this third podcast here. My guys right here. Look at these guys. Look at these good-looking guys, man. We got Aaron Bacon. What's up from the Bacon? How you doing, man?
I'm gonna let it slide again.
Let me tell your name.
Slide again. I'm telling you, bro. It's people been killing my name. It's Arbon, like R
No,
star.
I said that.
Nah, brother. It's like
Okay. Yeah, I said, oh boy.
You said Aaron.
Yeah.
Oh, I said Aaron. That's crazy. You ain't no Pokemon. I'm on Bacon, man, from the Bacon Network. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm blessed. I'm blessed, brother. I'm good. Yeah.
We got my guy over here, Najee from Najee Wilkes TV. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. What's going on, man? I'm happy to be here, man. That intro was hard, first and foremost, man.
Appreciate
I'm
it.
Najee. Yes, sir. I'm Najee Wilkins. I do a little bit of everything, man. I try to cover most sports. I'm not just stuck to one brand and one company. I do my own thing too, and I do commitment decisions. You know, I cover athletes. I do high school, anything you know. I do college too. Does some reporting for Georgia State and other schools. So I do a little bit of everything.
Definitely. And so Bacon, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh man, journalist. I was kind of went to school for this, self-taught. I started out locally, Noonan Times Herald. They gave me my first gig, man. So covering local sports, and branched out doing my own thing. Done some work with the G League team, College Park Skyhawks, man. So just kind of do more of the culture side, but working into the recruiting side, doing commitments like a Najee. So you gotta have your hands in everything, and be multifaceted because we're a multimedia journalist, right? So yeah, man, just eager, hungry at the bit, hungry to get to success.
Definitely. And I'll get to mine. I'm in Jerome, CEO of Inside the Hashes. We do football media, we do college, pros, and high school football. So I'm super excited about this podcast because it's the third line. I've been doing college football on podcasts. I've been doing NFL on podcasts. But we're finally here to do high school football. So I'm super excited. But I'll say this, we see some guys coming in and out, but if you're in here right now, please make sure that you like, subscribe to us. We got all the channels right here on the side. If you're watching on my network, make sure you go to Najee's network. We're trying to get Bacon's. We're going to get Bacon's on at one point.
Coming
But make sure you go on Baker Network on YouTube as well. Subscribe there. We're going to eventually get him on as well, man. But first and foremost, we're going to talk about what is the first thing that we want to talk about today. And I already know what I want to talk about because this last week, there was a huge upset. St. John Bosco destroying Notre Dame. And I want to talk about that because it was 28-0, I believe, 27-0, something like that, man. I want to know what you guys thought about that game because, I personally didn't think that was going to happen. I thought it was going to be a good game. I thought it was going to be even. Notre Dame's supposed to be the number one team in the country. I got it right here in the background playing right now. What was your overall thought when you seen the score?
If I had a bad day, they came out just really hit him in the mouth, and man, they didn't respond. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. Shout out to St. John Bosco for definitely coming to play, man, putting themselves on the map against the number one ranked team in the nation.
Definitely.
To be
What
real
about
with
you,
y'all, I
Najee?
was not too surprised because St. John Bosco has had the upper hand against Mater Day the last few years.
Sure.
They've been winning and stuff like that. I think they just had the athletes to match up, man. Maybe the score is a little bit kind of, surprising the 28-0. Maybe you expected kind of a better game, maybe like a 28-14, 28-21. But to be real, man, I mean, St. John Bosco has not, I don't think they've had a loss recently in state in a long time. So, I mean, I'm not really too surprised, man.
Oh man, that's crazy. I thought that was a big game. Both teams have plenty of athletes on it. It's not like one had more athletes than the other. Both teams are stacked with them, and to be shut out like that, I thought that was crazy. Usually, when you have a game that's like big athletes, either they're very high scoring or very low scoring games, and this one was neither. It was a straight loss. So I thought it was, very surprising. Two Cali teams going against each other, two of the best teams in the nation, as ranked from Max Prep. So I thought it was going to be a little bit closer than that. So I was a little surprised with that. But shout out to St. John Bosco. They did their thing like this, like they should have probably. So. All right, Bacon, do you have a first and foremost?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do. Yes, sir. I do. The first and foremost for me is going to be Mercy Miller at 34 points. You know what I'm saying? This past game, teammate of Bronny, not Bronny, Bryce James. So be on the lookout for, excuse me, get the team name for Sherman Oaks, Cali. Sherman Oaks, Cali. Stay tuned for them, man. They got something special.
All right, definitely. And Najee?
Obviously we're gonna get into more of the game, but my first and foremost, man, is Mill Creek doing their thing, man. I'm one of the ones I call myself out. I did not think they were gonna have the year they've been having right now. But they doing their thing, man. So I gotta give them some love, man. That is not easy to do. They did it at home. Got a big win against Buford. They lost last year on ESPN2. They balled out. Shane Throckmorton came through in a major way. We'll talk about him more in a second. But that's my first and foremost, man. Mill Creek is pretty much in the driver's seat to win that region. And I think the thing that's first and foremost is that in the second round of the playoffs, Buford could potentially be going on the road. That is something to kind of think about. They're used to being at home, chilling, and that Buford Wolves den in that stadium. It might be on the road potentially, man. I don't see Mill Creek blowing it. I think they won their toughest game probably this year. That's my first and foremost, man. Mill Creek handles their business at home against a very, very good Buford team and in the driver's seat to win the region.
Yeah, we're going to dive a little bit more deeper into that game in a second, but definitely shout out to Rose Creek. We've definitely seen them a few times this year, and they've been definitely balling out. But let's get right to it, man. These Georgia high school games, man. I think this past week we had a lot of good games. Some games that were not as close as we maybe thought it would have been. Some games that were very close, some upsets all week. I want to go to the first upset first, because this team, we all three of us been to one of these games at least. I know we've all been to the Quirky Tail with them, a team that I'm very close with since it's very close to my house. But Parkview versus Archer, man. Archer put it on Parkview, man. Najee, what's your first initial thoughts on this game?
Yeah, man. I'm glad you started with me. I got a stat line for y'all. This is crazy. So their quarterback, Jordan Dew, actually got hurt. Y'all gotta listen to this performance by William Wallace, man. I got the tweet pulled up. So he says, couple of clips from Friday's game with a win against a good Parkview team. This kid had 2 receiving touchdowns, a rushing touchdown, a throwing touchdown, 48 yards receiving, 80 throwing, and 60 rushing. So if you guys don't know, he actually went in as the emergency quarterback for Jordan Dew and put on a heck of a performance. That's my kind of standout right there. That is not something easy to do. I know he played a little bit of quarterback last year. I think his natural position is obviously receiver, but to go in and that offense not meant to beat against a very talented Parkview team, athletes, and great players all over the field. That is not easy to do, and I think their receiving corps is special, either Archer. So that's my first take on it. I think that was a big time win for them. The biggest thing with Parkview is it's the quarterback position. We know how good they are. Their running backs are banged up. No Kyer Spain. Traylon Maddox is pretty banged up right now as well. might be done for the year. The biggest thing is like their rushing attack is not where it usually is and where it needs to be. So they need Jaden Jenkins to step up. So I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, obviously he had a decent game, 8 for 15, 100 yards plus a touchdown, but they need more out of him if they're going to have make it to the state championship, which is obviously their aspiration. So I think that's the biggest thing, William Wallace's performance.
Yeah. What about you, Bacon?
Nah, man, I agree, man. I definitely saw the William Wallace thing on Twitter, man. Shout out to the young man for putting his team on his shoulders, man. You know what I'm saying? Taking them to the promised land. I seen the recruit Georgia Titan play where he kind of went airborne. That was crazy. Man, like it's like Najee said, Parkview, we know they got a lot of talent, a lot of athletes, but can they put the ball in the air and be more consistent offensively? That's going to be their question mark, man. Defensively, they can do what they need to do, but you got to be able to keep up and score with the best, especially in 7A.
Definitely. I mean, it was only a 1-point game. The other game that they lost to was Mill Creek. We were just talking about Mill Creek, and we'll talk about them a little bit more in a second. So I'm not gonna say that like Parkview's in trouble or anything like that, but they do need to sharpen up a little bit. They are playing a very good team in Newton this week, so they got to sharpen up there. They got Brookwood. Is another really good team to end the season. So the last few games, man, they got to really start buckling up because they basically already in playoffs for themselves right now. So they got to think like that, have that mentality with them. They got a lot of athletes on that team. I thought this team was going to be a really good team, and I still do. But like we said, their running back got injured. Quarterback play hasn't been the same. They've been playing a lot of running back by committee. So it's making it a little hard for them to score the points that they probably want to. But, having, Mike Matthews on the team that can bust a play wide open at any time, really helps, having Jalen and all those other fellas, they have a good squad. They got a good team, but they just really got to buckle up, man, for sure.
Well, it don't get no easier. They got Newton on GPB this week. We're going to talk about that game, obviously. They still got to play Brookwood, and then they got Grayson. So that's a tough way to end it.
True. I would say, Mac Matthews had 2 receptions, 59 yards. You got to find a way to get him in space more. That ain't it. Get him in space more.
I agree with Bacon. Bacon's 100% right.
Yeah. All right, let's get to our next game, man. Sandy Creek versus Carver. So Bacon, that game, I think this is the one that you really wanted to discuss. What was it about this game that you like?
Man, like we seen it across the TV screens or in person if you was on the field or at home. It was a sloppy day for Georgia football, a lot of rain. So, both teams, I mean, they're more naturally running teams. They don't really have a set quarterback, so both running backs for Sandy Creek and Carver, they combined for 48 touches. It came down to the last play. Carver had 2 quarterbacks come in and out. They couldn't get too much going in the air raid. We're gonna talk about Amari Lattimore. He had 24 touches, 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. All Sandy Creek touchdowns came via Amari Lattimore. That's Lamar Lattimore. Excuse me. That's impressive. It was an old school game. It was a gritty game, man. Running behind that big old line at Sandy Creek, which is probably might be the best in 3A, maybe second. I think the best in my opinion. So keep feeding him the ball. The quarterback, he had some hiccups. He had some interceptions. But the shout out to the Sandy Creek defense that came in, made it back, 2 interceptions, I believe, an interception just before the couple of drives before the Carver end up running out of time. So man, big win for Sandy Creek. They got Cedar Grove coming up, man. That's gonna be a big game. I'm not gonna be there. I'm gonna be at the Douglas game for the last game of the season. So, but I think we might see a repeat of the same championship last year, Cedar Grove and Sandy Creek. What about y'all?
Yeah, I think this was a really tough game. It was what was the score again? 20-15, like you said. Yeah, 2015. Carver came out on a win. Like you said, it was a sloppy day in general. So whenever you get like rain or anything like that, that kind of pits apart in and these type of games, especially when you're talking about high school football, it's a little bit different with weather than maybe pros because you're just kind of more used to playing in the weather at that point. So you do get different kind of like results in games like this. And Sandy Creek went down there and they thought they was going to get the win and lost to Carver, which Carver I think is a good team. They are a good team. So I'm not trying to take anything away from them for sure. I thought Sandy Creek would have won this game though.
Yeah, no, they did. They did win the game.
Sandy Creek won?
Yeah, they won 2015.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. So I'm bugging. They did win. Yeah. Go ahead, Najee.
Yeah, man. For me, man, that running back the real deal. Bacon talked to him, did a little piece on him on Sports Illustrated. Man, y'all go check that out, man. For South Carolina, that was a great piece. Y'all go check my boy out. But nah, man, he the real deal, man. 24 carries, 100 yards, 3 touchdowns, right? So they lean on him a little bit to do their thing. I just want to see the progression of the quarterback a little bit. Obviously, I think Latimer's the real deal, man. I mean, he got Oregon offers. Just got a Florida offer he just picked up. South Carolina, Georgia's interested. Like, this kid can ball, man, and he gonna put them in position to win most games, and I think he did that. And also, I got to give a shout out to Evan Harvey. Got invited to Georgia Elite Classic. He got a sack in that game. Kids all over the field. That kid is dangerous. Me and Bacon got to see him at Georgia Tech 7-on-7, and I was impressed, man. And we thought it might be maybe a trying year for Sandy Creek, but they're doing their thing. They're 6-2, riding high. Got a big time region game against Cedar Grove. Potentially could be for the region championship. So they got to feel good. One thing I will say, though, even though Carver lost, Carver is a very physical team.
Yeah.
The thing about Carver is they got a lot of emerging talent. That running back, Latavius Stepp Jr., is very, very impressive, right? 123 rushing yards and a touchdown against that one. Against a very stout defensive front for Sandy Creek. So I think the good thing for Carver is regardless of how this year plays out, they still got their head coach coming back. They're going to be able to take these building blocks. They got so many young players that are playing pivotal roles in key minutes right now. They're going to be able to take that from this year and be able to be even better team next year. So I think that's the biggest thing. Regardless of their struggles and how they play, they're going to always be a physical team. They always play their heart out. They always play hard. They got some nice building blocks and tools, including Latavius Stepp Jr., some good linebackers, and other key skill positions. They're going to be good to go in the years coming up. So tough game in the rain, as Bacon alluded to, but nonetheless, I think, Sandy Creek is just on another level right now.
I also want to, before we move on to the next title, I want to bring up Jamontez Hines for Carver, linebacker, I believe, 14 total tackles, 3 tackles for loss. That's a big time, man. That's stepping up, knowing the ball's coming your way and making the play, getting your head on the ball.
And 2 sacks.
2 sacks too.
Yep, and 2 sacks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was all over the ball. Yeah, he was. All right, let's get to our next game, which was Carverville versus Hiram. Sorry, I'm from Georgia, guys. I'm from Georgia. Yeah, another classic out there. A 5-34 win game for Hiram. I'm sorry, for Cartersville. Najee, what you think about this game, man?
Man, a wild game, yo. Y'all want to hear a crazy stat? Hiram actually outrushed Cartersville. Hiram rushed for 352 yards in this game, and Cartersville only rushed for about 200 plus. And the crazy part is they looked good. Like, Caden Hamilton had 115 yards and 2 tutties. Kadarius Brown had 187 yards and a touchdown. Chase Tyler looked like a dynamic weapon on the outside. They threw him a jump ball, called it towards the end of the half. They tied up the game 21-21. He looked good. What I will say is that this Hiram team can put up points. They're going to be tough to stop. They're playing a tough region with Cartersville and Cass and Dalton and several other great teams out there in that region. But what I will say is I think they're going to be fine. Obviously, their first big loss, I think, this season. A lot of things you can take away from that game and continue to work and get better. But they're going to put up points. So it's going to be tough to contain this offense that's seen in that game. But the difference in the game is Christian Lando. 205 yards for Cartersville, 3 touchdowns, had a big game. I'm still not 100% sold on the QB, Nate Russell. I need to see a little more progression from him. But I do like the 2 playmakers. We had them the week prior. Darian Taylor Wilson had 2 big catches, touchdowns for them, kind of helped propel them to a win against Cass when they were kind of struggling. And then they got Jamari Price. Jamari Price looked like himself again, 4 catches, 105 yards, and a touchdown. So it looked good. But the key was Hiram held the lead 34-28 late. They went down and scored for Cartersville. and then they couldn't get a first down late in the game, and that pretty much decided. But overall, I think Hiram will be fine. They can score with anybody. Cartersville still working out some kinks, but they're gonna be a good team, and I think they'll be able to wrap up the region here pretty soon.
No doubt. No doubt. I think Cartersville really got away, man. This is really Hiram was supposed to win this game. They missed 3 or 4, I think 3 field goals in crunch time, man. And really, you know what I'm saying, they lost their starting quarterback, Ryan Strickland, in the first half. Shout out to the young man. He took a beating and kept on ticking, man. He didn't want to leave the game, but, you know, coaches and parents made that decision, made that best decision for the young man. So the backup came in, Ethan Lattimore, 2 touchdowns, two big head times beaners to Chase Tyler, dynamic athlete going to Duke, man. Yeah, like I said, Cartersville definitely got away. Hiram, I would move Hiram ahead of Cartersville. Just this performance alone, man. You can't.
Wow.
Backup quarterback missed field goals. They really should have won that game, man. That's my take on it, though.
Can't play ball with us, man. Can't play ball with us. Hey, man, before we continue, I just want to shout out our viewers right now. If you want to comment on here, we do have comments. Comment anything that you want to add to what we're saying and what we're doing right now. We do appreciate all the support, man. Like and subscribe as well. But
hey, hold on before we keep going though. Hey, Baker, you gotta tell that man you stand on business, man. That's your
stand on business, man.
Stand on business, bro.
No cap. No Capitan, man. No Captain Hood. All that.
Oh man, that's funny.
But yeah, Cartersville, man. They look like they're gonna finish the season 10-0. They play Woodland this upcoming weekend. No, sorry, next Thursday, tomorrow, 2 days from now. I'm sorry, guys, Tuesday. They while we were recording this Tuesday, they play them on Thursday, and then they play Dalton a few weeks after that. So 2 more games for them, which I think they should win. They look like they're gonna be 10-0. You guys want to say anything about that? Do y'all agree?
About Cartersville?
Yeah, Cartersville. Yeah. I think that Dalton game is tricky. Don't sleep on Dalton. They had Adrian Hernandez. I mentioned him earlier in my show. He went off. I think he's gonna be a key part for them. If they can run the ball, play ball control. I have not seen Dalton this year, but if they physical, I think they have a chance against Cartersville. But I mean, yeah, they should be willing Cartersville. I think that Dalton game, circle that one. That one should be intriguing as well.
No doubt. Should be willing. You know, Dalton, that's a rivalry game for Cartersville, man. Anything can happen in rivalry games. I know too well watching these kind of what they're doing the games play out over a lifetime. So yeah, that's definitely one to circle.
Definitely. Let's go to our next game. North Gwinnett versus Peachtree Ridge. Now, I want to say before you go that North Gwinnett was kind of a surprise team for me this year. I mean, I didn't expect them to be this good this year. They're playing very well. The record's only 5-3. But I personally don't feel like that reflects on how they've been playing. They've been playing very well. But I'm gonna let you guys. I'm gonna let Bacon.
All right, man. Fresh off the press as of today or yesterday, I believe. Peachtree Ridge has moved into the Deuce Recruiting. Want to compete top 10. You know what I'm saying? Large in part to Darnell Kelly, 243 yards, 3 touchdowns, man. Special athlete. Top quarterback in UGA. I'm the top quarterback in the state of Georgia. I don't want to say UGA. Don't want to, trigger anything there. Got two dynamic wide receivers. Miles Abernathy, 74 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not sure if he's related to the late great David Abernathy. You know what I'm saying? Lamar White, another good day. And oh, by the way, had a running back, Cedric Addison, 180 yards on the ground and a touchdown. So you know what I'm saying? Shout out to those boys. I haven't looked real close at them. I don't know what type of offense they have. Not sure on the defense, but possibly an upset team when playoffs come around.
Yeah, I think for me, man, this is going to probably surprise y'all, but I've been saying, and Craig can quote me, since June when I seen them at Georgia Tech 707 that they was going to win this region. They've been standing on business all year. I've believed in Darnell County since that game, or since that whole tournament went down. And the key to me for me is they got a good team, man. As you alluded to, Bacon, they got Miles Abernathy, Lamar White. They can run the football. Their defense is underrated. I think it's top tier. Got Dorian Barney, who's a 4-star recruit. Man, in that defensive secondary, they got some guys who can get to you off the edge. This is a very complete team and surprising a lot of folks. So I took them then to win the region. I got called crazy for it. But I think they standing on their business, man, and I got them winning that region. I do. Now the key in that game was they went ahead 20-3 against North Gwinnett. They were surging. They had a good lead. And, they tried to come back late. North Gwinnett did, but it was tough. I don't know the stats for North Gwinnett, but I know Ryan Hall has taken a big step forward in his junior season. Last year struggled a little bit, but this year I think he only had one interception going into this game. And they got a really good playmakers too, and a good running back in Julian Waters. But I'm trying to lobby for it. But I think the game that should be on TV, I don't know who's going to pick it up. It might not even get picked up. That Peachtree Ridge Norcross game next week, that is the game of the week, bro. I'm telling you. Because Norcross, we know how historic they are. We know what they can do. We know how good of a team he is. A.J. Watkins, Jamari Harrell, Antonio Mulder. We know all the athletes they got, Jackson Bussey. But Peachtree Ridge has not been good guys in a long time. And they going on the road, and they could potentially lock up that region on the road in Norcross. That'd be big for their school. That's the game of the week to me next week. I know I'm kind of looking a little bit ahead, but, I think Ridge, that's going to be a good game, man. So I'm very satisfied, very happy with what Ridge has been doing. They've been balling, bro.
That's at Norcross or Peachtree Ridge?
That's at Norcross.
That'd be tough. They're going to win on the road like that.
Yes,
No,
sir.
for real. Like you said, Najee, we seen them at the Georgia Tech 707, and they just was flying everywhere, man. And they got a great quarterback over there, got some good receivers as well. So you can definitely tell that these guys play for each other for sure. Very exciting, hype team, and so a lot of what they've been doing this season, not really coming as a surprise to us because we kind of seen them in the offseason and what they've been doing and how they've been getting coached and stuff like that. So I think this would be a good game. That Norcross game would definitely be a good game for them. They also have to play Discovery too, but definitely. I mean, it's a person on their schedule, so they gotta get to them.
Why you say it like that? While they play Discovery too, it's some person on their schedule. Why you say
nothing.
It like that?
I ain't do nothing. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Hey, Jerome think he's slick, bro. Jerome think he's slick. Jerome think he's slick.
No, I didn't talk about. Anyway, let's talk about the game of the week. Obviously, this is what you guys probably want to talk about the most: Beaufort versus Mill Creek. Najee, you already kind of talked to it, so I'm gonna let Bacon start this one off. But what a game, man! What a game. Najee, I'm sorry, Bacon. What was the biggest insights of this game for you, man?
Biggest insight of the game, man. You can say a lot of things. I'm gonna go with the I can't remember what's his brother's first name. I'm gonna say Greco. I can't remember his first name. The Greco. Man, SC top 10, man. Anytime we do that, that's my biggest step away from the game right there. The brother was on ESPN. They cut the game off early. And they seen that, so the whole world probably know about my boy right now, man. But I would just say a game of many titles. You had the bad snap that held Buford back late third quarter. That they were supposed to get in the end zone right there. And yeah, I already said top 10. The game that cut off. Those are my 3 titles for the game right there. We all wanted to see that. ESPN got to do better. We love LeBron and Steph Curry. But you can't cut us off like that. Georgia need to write a little letter to whoever at ESPN.
Preseason basketball game, bro. Get real. Preseason. This ain't the real thing.
I'm still pulling the strings up there.
Definitely. All right,
we got a question too.
You said what?
No, so somebody asked the question.
Yeah. We got first comment on here. So Facebook user, I don't know who you are. You can you have to subscribe or something like that with Facebook. But sorry for calling you Facebook user. I'll look up who you are and check it. But it says, does Beaufort lose some of their allure after losing with so much allure, with losing so much talent on our team?
Yeah,
they're loaded.
Allure. Man, they're loaded. Have you not seen the front seven? Bryce Perry Wright, Andrew Houston, Jaden Parlati, Montrez Walker, and then KJ Bolden. I just named you about 5 4-star players. No, Buford is talented. They got the number 1 quarterback in the country. No, they don't lose their allure. The difference with Buford is they have been, to me, this season too one-dimensional. Now, Dylan Raiola can throw it, he can sling it. Coach Appleton is doing a phenomenal job. But when you cannot run the football and you're a little over-dependent, that kind of that makes it tough, right? And then I think, too, defensively, and someone pointed this out to me, and I had this actually as one of my takes, their secondary, does not include KJ. KJ, you can put anywhere on the field. This more so includes kind of their corners, right? It hasn't been as, I guess pristine as you're used to seeing. And that was my key actually going into this game. I said Shane Throgmorton was my X factor, right? He had a good game, 235 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. But the key was Trajan Greco, Jaden Patterson. They won on the outside. Greco had 7 catches for 125 yards and a touchdown. That was the key. I think, to your point in the question you asked, I think they have a little bit more weaknesses that people are accustomed to with Buford. Did they lose some of their allure? No. They're still a nationally ranked team. They still win and beat St. Francis Academy from Baltimore. They still win and beat Mallard Creek from North Carolina. So, no, they're still a talented group. They just have more weaknesses than what we probably foreseen coming into the game. I mean, when you get the number 1 player in the country, you're like, okay, this is a surefire. But I think the thing is, and as I told everybody, I'm going to throw it to y'all boys. I'm going to end my point. 7-8 is a different breed of football. And I've been saying that. I know it's going to be – they're going to be cutting it out after this season, but I'm telling y'all, 7-8 is just a different breed, man. I'm telling you. Last year, they only got upset about Walton. It's just a different breed. 7-8 has some of the best players in the country. It's not like how it is in 5, 6. No offense, it's still great football, but 7-8 is a different breed. So they lose their allure or some of their allure? No. People are going to still want to go to Buford. Buford they're literally building a new stadium. Literally. They're building a new stadium. So, no, Buford's not going to lose their allure. Will they have higher expectations? Could it be, trouble down the road? Maybe. I don't know. But people are going to still want to go to Buford and play football.
Facebook user is my guy LaMarcus Bailey. So shout out to LaMarcus for getting our podcast. Appreciate you, man. He says, how do you lose with that much talent? He said that's the point. They shouldn't lose. And he also said, so do they beat Colquitt? I'm gonna let you guys answer that one.
Colquitt's something special, man. They got Nico Fan, they got the boy Nakar, they got that tight end that's committed to Florida State, Landon Thomas. They got some dudes, man. I'll say this, man. Yeah, I'll say this. If it's at Buford, I think they win the game. But if they got to go to Colquitt down south, I don't know, man. That might be tough. Might lean the other way.
Yeah. What about you, Bacon?
Man, I don't know. I need to see a little bit more Colquitt before I really give my spiel on who will win that game. But I will say this: I think if you had any questions about Dylan Raiola, I think he erased all that away, man. Eluding some sacks, putting on the footwork, man. Getting outside the pocket with the dink and dunks. That's all I'm gonna say. So, if it's close and the ball's in Raiola's hands coming down the stretch, it's tough not to go with Buford. I will say that.
Well, I want to know what was the biggest factor in their loss last week, then, for you guys.
Say that again.
What was the biggest factor in them losing last week to you guys?
Go ahead, baby. You go first.
I would say DBs outside of KJ, the secondary outside of KJ. It's only so much one man can do, especially him being a safety. Somebody had that one-on-one, and that's going to be big come playoffs, especially when you can't really control the clock. So I would say defensive backs. What about you, Jerome? Or Najee? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think the secondary's up there. I think Shane Throgmorton's one of my others. Obviously, it wasn't the cleanest game. He had an interception, but I thought the throws he made, he didn't really force for the most part. The DB just made a play on the ball, but I thought he managed the game well. And as you mentioned too, Bacon, they just won on the outside, man. And that was the key going into the game. Can the receivers win on the outside against the DBs? They were able to do that. offensive line, limited pressures by Edric Houston, and obviously Bryce Perry, right? So if you can neutralize that a little bit and you can win on the outside, you might have a formula.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt.
Definitely, man. I think that this is a good way for us to kind of figure out like if Buford's the team that we think they should be. They dropped a little bit in ranking, not too bad. I think they're like sixth now in the nation. So it's not too bad, but this is really going to tell us like, hey, is Buford, what everybody think they should have been. They had a lot of transfers this year, a lot of nuances coming into that team. A lot of big expectations. So maybe this is something maybe they needed. Everybody always expecting them to win and just went out, and everybody had them number one and get into the championship. Maybe this is something they need to kind of wake them like, hey, we're not a juggernaut as much as we think we are, and maybe we need to get that one loss out of the way now so we can kind of regain and refocus. So
let me ask you this, Jerome, to our brother who chimed in with his question. Appreciate your time tapping in, brother. Do you think that Buford loses his allure if they don't win GHSA championships for this year, not next year? Do you feel like that national ranking slips back and we start seeing other GHSA teams pull forward?
ask me that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll definitely see.
So is it the recruits that is your reason why they remain so high up on the list? Is that what we rank Buford for?
Honestly, I do, and I don't want to like take that away from them because it's just the nature of high school football right now. People are recruiting, people are getting people in, and transferring and stuff like that. It's the nature of the sport. You can't knock what the league is like allowing. So I'm not gonna say that, but also like Buford was a good school before then as well. So I don't want to
You got win.
yeah, I don't want to just straight say, like, oh yeah, it was just because of recruiting, But he also says Buford likely has more resources than most schools. Yeah, I mean, like we just said again, a new stadium, so yeah. They also played 3A ball for years.
That's true. He's right about that.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on from Buford to I just want to go over last two games. Well, last two games this should win. Especially being the Decula and Mountain View. Mountain View got some talented players that a lot of people don't really talk about there. So I do think they're a solid team, but I just think Mill Creek's a better team right there. Let me see about Buford real quick. Remaining.
They got Decula.
Yeah.
They got the same.
They'll win that. Yeah, they got Decula. They'll beat them.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, they got the same two teams. Decula, Mountain View, but they got Central Gwinnett closing out. So yeah, both teams played the same two teams the last two games. So yeah, so it should be easy going from the end of it, I think. But it's really about those playoffs, man. Those players are really going to be when they need to hold in and get better and everything. So they got a chance to get their confidence back up and blow people out and do all that stuff like that. They have their chance. Any given Friday. So we'll see. All right, let's get to our last portion of this, and we're going to be talking about the reviews. We already did our previews. We already did our review. I'll say it right the first time. The reviews for this week coming up. We got a couple of games, and the first game we're going to talk about is Greater Atlantic Christian versus Kell. Najee, I'm gonna let you start off with this. What is your excitement about this game, and how you think this one's going to turn out?
It's a lot of excitement, man. This is for the region championship. It's going to be on TV, Peachtree Sports Network. I lobbied for this game. GNC's having a
Okay.
good year. Yep, I sure did. They're underrated. Not a lot of people talking about them. They slept on. Jack Stanton is having a good season. Only 2 interceptions, 15 touchdowns. Their receiving corps is very underrated. Xavier Daisy and Gabe Daniels have combined for 11 touchdowns this season. Have a good running back and good running game. And Luca Tiberia, he has 830 rushing yards and 9 touchdowns this season. Real quick for them, my X factor is going to be Jack Stanton. Again, having a phenomenal senior season, 17 touchdowns actually. But they got to win on the outside, right? The running game might be tough sledding. Kel got a bunch of athletes, linebacker and safety position. So I think, Stanton's going to have to need to have a 150, 200-yard game, and my odds for them to win a couple touchdowns. He's one of the key players I got my eyes on. And then last but not least, before I throw it to Bacon, Kel just has a phenomenal, just offense, right? And I broke down some film today on Tyree Green. Only a sophomore kid, had 3 touchdowns, 140-plus rushing yards in the last game and win over Cambridge. But they got a 3-headed monster in the backfield. Kamari Nix, Kentarius Gibson, who's a freshman, and Tyree Green. So you leave them cutback lanes open, they're going to expose you. So that's something to watch for. And then their receiving corps is great as well, right? They also got Kyle Vaca, Peyton Zachary, and other really good receivers. And they got Bryce Clemens as the quarterback. So they got some dudes, man. And it's going to be a fun game. And my prediction real quick is Kel. I got Kel winning, but I think it's going to be a good game.
Okay. Marcus says Xavier Daisy.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, that's the receiver.
Nice. All right, what about you, Bacon? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Kel here. I'm thinking, what am I going to say here? Let's say 30, 32, 27, and GAC is a team that has an explosive offense as well. Like I said, I think Kel has a lot more tricks in the bag. Obviously, Kel well coached. Both teams are well coached. But I'm gonna go with the team that's got a little more bullets in the gun. So I'm gonna go with Kel.
Bullets in the gun. You hear how you said bullets in the gun?
Walking,
bro. Bullets in the gun. Yeah. I don't want to hear that in my head all night. I think I'm gonna go with you guys. I'm to take Kel. Kel is 6-1. Greater is 7-0. But I haven't got to see Greater Atlanta this year yet. But I seen a little bit of them last year. Very solid team. I feel like they seem like a more improved team this year. Obviously, being 7-0, it would be. I just think, for me, I think Kel's offense is just going to be a little bit more sound than Greater Atlanta's defense can kind of handle. So I'm taking Kel as well. All right.
So 3 Kels.
3 for Kel. All right, let's get to the next game, and it's going to be funny for me to evaluate because I've been around Parkview a lot. It's literally the first team that let me record them and cover the games, and Coach Brian and all of them got a very good relationship for a lot of people there. So it's gonna be interesting for me to talk about this one. But I'm gonna start off with Bacon. Parkview versus Newton, big game this week. What do you think about this one, man?
I like Newton this matchup. Just a more complete team, still undefeated, I believe. Yeah, still undefeated. Beat Westlake and one more school, I can't remember. But I just think a better overall round team. Parkview, like I said, they gotta be a little more consistent, airing the ball out. So I'm thinking along the lines of probably, I'm gonna say 32. For some reason today I'm like a 32, 20. 32-20 Newton, man. Basketball team coming up emerging as a powerhouse of football. So that's my choice. What about you, Ron?
The team that you're talking about is Grayson.
Grayson, that's right. Close game.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go on a limb, and I'm gonna say Newton, man. As much as I like Parkview and as much as I'm around them, Newton. I was at the game when they played Westlake, and I literally went there for Westlake, and I didn't think it's going to be like that type of game. They were a lot more physical. It was faster to the ball. That defense, that's a tough defense. They're gonna run if they need to. They're gonna run you down if they need to. And I'm not sure if Parkview can handle that. They can keep the ball out of that offensive hands as well. I just think they're a little bit more physical.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead, Nash.
Yeah, thank you, froze. Yeah, real quick for me, I got Newton in this game. Home game for them. Zion Johnson just been on the tear. He's just on another level. 1,085 yards rushing, 14 touchdowns. He's been a problem, and as y'all both alluded to, the physicality, man, that makes a difference. And I think going into this game, Parkview's a little banged up, man, and they don't have that two-headed monster they can kind of lean on, the Kyer Spains and the Traylon Maddox, and then use that off play action. So home game, I think Newton continues to go. And as you mentioned, Bacon, 2 signature wins, Westlake and Grayson so far. They can add another one with a big time win against Parkview. So I got Newton.
Oh, man. So far, we're all on the same page on all these games. So I don't know how I get weary when that happens, man. I get really weary.
We're gonna be 3-0.
Yep.
All right, let's go. All right, let's go to our next one. We got North Atlanta versus how you say it? Maris.
Yep.
Maris. So Najee, I'm gonna start with you on this one. What do you think on this one? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, man, I think it's gonna be a big one. It's a big time region game with big region implications. Marist has won 17 consecutive region games. You guys did not know that. Marist likes to run the ball down your throat. They can run as well with their quarterback, who's also pretty good in space. You sleep on the speed if you want to. You're gonna find out pretty quick. Jackson Hughes is the big key player to watch in this one. He had 2 touchdowns on TV when they beat Blessed Trinity in that rivalry game. So they can really just take away your will. But North Atlanta having the best season in school history. I love what Coach All is doing with the program. They follow up a really good year last year. They're doing it again this year. Team is riding very high. And I'm telling y'all, they speed, athleticism, and physicality jumps off the page. It's off the charts. It's going to be key for them to be physical early. If they can do that with Marist, I like their chances. They have a lot of ways they can beat you in the running game with Demetrius Barnes, on the outside with Darius Malcolm and Zayden Benson. And it's their physicality defensive. They can get after the quarterback and Chase Linton. They got some dudes, man. So, and if I'm them, last thing on this game, if I'm them, I'm going to put Zayden Benson on Luke Harper, and 3-star tight end that's going to Georgia Tech. Whenever he splits out wide, I'm putting my best athlete, my best player on him is Zayden Benson. So we'll see what happens, but I'm going with Coach Joe, Coach All, North Atlanta, big-time victory.
Bacon?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna go with North Atlanta. I got the opportunity to see them and record them. So you want to check that out? You can grab it to Bacon Network, Newton OTA practice. This summer, I saw them against Newton, a different array of teams that were there, North Side, Luella. And they were just, and they weren't even, they didn't have their stars in. They could tell they're deep, they're real physical, real athletic, you know what I'm saying? Not afraid to let you know about it in your face type of football. They got they have a lot more weapons than Marist, so a little more diverse outside of just being able to punch the ball downfield. So yeah, I expect them to win probably two-score win over Marist on the road. Back to you, Jerome.
I think he froze up again. That's the internet.
Internet Comcast lag.
Who you got though, Jerome?
Over here, roasting me while I'm off. Like, that's crazy. On the first episode. I'm gonna actually take a mulligan on this one. I really don't know much about either of these teams. I'm still kind of learning football myself, so I'm not gonna talk about this team too much, these two games, but I like what your guys are saying. 7-0 team versus a 6-1 team seems going to be a heavyweight match. I'm very much looking at who they are and getting to know these teams myself. So
no team you picking? No pick?
I'm not taking either, just because I don't know either team. So I'm not familiar with the teams. Gotcha. Versus Woodward Academy. So Bacon, I'm gonna start with you on this one. What do you think about this one?
This is tough. This is a tough game, man. Man, I really don't know. You got Woodward Academy. They got a lot of I can't remember the recruit they got. I think he's going to Florida. They're dynamic offense. They got what's his name? London Merritt, 4 stars. Got a lot of offers. South Carolina's one of them. Great all around player. Can definitely rush off the edge. Can play in space. Make the tackle on athletes. And then you got to flip the side. Go to Jonesboro. They're blowing up right now with a lot of young talent. John Tavius Wyman, Montez. Excuse me, can't remember his name. Montez Redding, Jamar Jones. They got a good running back. They got a big old line, physical, nasty Atlanta type football, man. You got Coach Syrup gonna be pouring syrup in the offensive lineman mouth all game. If I had to pick a team, I'm gonna go with them boys in Jonesboro, man. I think it's just their game to win, get back on track after suffering a tough loss against Monday's Mill. Close win though, close win. I'm gonna go. Man, it's tough. Just give me 24-17, 1 score win, and I feel like it's gonna be closer than that, honestly. But yeah, what about you, Naj? What you got?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna roll with I got Jonesboro too, but I'm not sleeping on Woodward Academy. This is gonna be an electric game, man. I'm telling you. You mentioned Dontavius Wyman plays both sides of the ball, played a little bit of quarterback, can play running back, receiver, can play DB. The kid can do it all, man. Blown up and recruiting Florida offers LSU. This kid is it's ridiculous. I mean, he's just blowing up. Happy for him. Coach Syrup, gotta give a shout out to Coach Syrup. He's doing a great job with the recruiting thing, man, and getting people in to see his kids, man. But yeah, back to your point, Bacon on Montez Redding. He's been a weapon for them in the passing game, right? Possesses that big playability, leading receiver, 581 yards, 8 touchdowns. On the other side of the ball, man, Lucas Farrington, heavily recruited player. I think soon he'll be either a 3 or 4 star player. Kid is next level, 421 yards rushing this season, 4 touchdowns. Downhill, if cutback ability will be on full display, they're gonna have to wrap up if you Jonesboro. And my other X factor is gonna be Ben Grice, man. He's underrated kid, blew up in recruiting last year as a junior, had a really big and special season for Woodward Academy. He's the leading receiver still, along with Josiah Abdullah, who's right under him in yards, 426. Grice got 436 and then got 6 touchdowns as well. So that's my key. Jonesboro got to wrap up. It's gonna be an electric game. I gotta give a shout out also. You said London Merritt got another elite tackler and a player that's a Wake Forest commit. And Andrew Hines. So they got some dudes, man. That's gonna be an electric game. But I think Jonesboro they'll keep pace, and I think it's gonna be a close victory for them.
I also want to plug another budding player who I'm surprised hasn't blown up yet, but should be on the way. Is what's his name? Last name Collier. I'll keep wanting to call him Isaiah Collier so bad, but that's not his name. No relation. But Collier, number 15, Jonesboro. He's tough. He's tough. I'll kind of compare him to Isaiah Simmons. That type of caliber player.
Ooh, that's a comparison, man. That's a comparison. I'm gonna hop on the train too with Jonesboro. Jonesboro only losing to 2 teams that I thought were really good teams, which is Carterville and Monday Mill. They've been a really good team this far. I think like Bacon said, they really emphasize that Atlanta type of team. That hard, really strong, real good team, So I really think that they can pull it off for sure. A really good game for them coming into the postseason, and the last 2 games being at Alcovy and Lovejoy, which I think they can finish off really well with. So I'm taking Jonesboro as well. Cool. All right, last game for tonight. Westlake versus Carrollton. All right, I see how Bacon just kind of like rolled back in his chair. So I'm curious what he got to say. I'm gonna let you go first since you did that.
That's too crazy, man. I just think it's gonna be another night when Westlake comes up short, man. They're another team. Like I want to see some more consistency from offense. They got the athletes, but when you're playing against Julian Lewis and Coach Joey King, you got to be prepared for everything. Coach Joey likes to go for it on 4th down when you're not expecting it. Do fake punts, go for it on 4th down and fourth and short. So man, I just think I like what's my boy Coach Rico Zachary, Noonan native. If you didn't know, So I definitely want to see the brother do well, man. I also know if they got the offensive personnel to keep up with the air raid, the balanced attack. I don't want to just call Carrollton the air raid attack, but the balanced attack, the Trojans. So I'm gonna take the Trojans.
Oh man, you said what you said.
I'm gonna take
Uh, I mean, they have been struggling running the ball though without Bryce Hicks though. They have been
That's
struggling a little
true.
bit.
That's
You know
true.
what I'm
That's
saying?
true. But that defense has also stepped up as well, though. I
Yeah.
like Montrez. Is it Montrez at linebacker number 6? Yeah, I like him coming downhill, getting stops, clogging up those running lanes. They got a good old line. If you can keep Julian Lewis up,
Mhm.
if you can keep him up, they're gonna be dynamic. He's only struggled when he's been on the ground via the length of his game. It was really after him. So if he stays upright, I expect the spread to be 2.5 scores. Book it.
Sheesh. 2.5. Sheesh.
Tell you.
Sheesh. Hey,
Uh,
well, I'm gonna
what's
go ahead and say this.
going on, Don?
Appreciate
Appreciate
that comment.
you, man. Appreciate you. I like the new picture. Appreciate you, man. Just passing the guys, show you brothers some love, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Don is one of our regulars on the Airedale podcast and the RPO podcast as well. So appreciate you, Don. Appreciate you. But yeah, go ahead, Najee.
Yeah, I'll be quick. Yeah, I think you brought up a great point, Bacon. It's gonna be about the physicality, man. They got to get Julian on the ground, make him feel uncomfortable, like any quarterback that can slice and dice you. He's capable of throwing the ball and putting up astronomical numbers, right? They have it's only in 5 of 8 games they played this season, Carrollton has scored 40 points or more. So that offense is dynamic. It's a different breed. But the difference is Westlake got 8 D1 recruits on that defense. Somebody got to show up, man. Somebody got to show up. So I feel like if they can make them one dimensional, I mean, obviously, I feel like they can still, throw the ball out. But without Bryce Hicks, I'm not completely, sold on the running game just yet. I got to see more. So the Westlake corners, they got to play some press coverage. They got to mix up some different things, some cover threes, some cover fours, some blitzes, some skies packages. They got to do their thing, man. And they got to be opportunistic. If Julian throws a bad throw, you got to get the pick. You got to get in the backfield, get sacks, force fumbles. You got to do that. So I think it's a key game. I know a lot of people aren't impressed with Westlake, but I'm rolling with them to get the dub, man. I think they changed the narrative a little bit, got them on the road, winning that football game. I think you're going to see a good coach, Rico Zachary team. They come in there and they got something to prove. I think Travis Smith is going to have a big game.
So you got Westlake. As you said.
I got Westlake, man. Y'all know I'm bold with predictions,
Yes,
man. So I'm going with Westlake.
Go. All right. You got first differences so far. I'm going with Carrollton. I mean, I'm sorry. Westlake, I love Westlake. I was one of the ones that was rooting for Westlake, and I was saying Westlake's going to be an amazing team this year, and people are going to have to watch out for them, and this and that. But, I mean, if you're putting a 40 plus, Najee already said it because I was going to mention the same thing. You're putting 40 up plus. The Rome game, they only pit 33. Actually, the Langston Hughes one, they pit 34 too. But man, they pitting up as much score as they are. It's gonna be hard to bet up, man. You got a young and upcoming quarterback that he's already the number 1 in the country already. Committed to USC. Looking to go into his junior year next year. So he's not even. He's just in his sophomore year and doing the things that he's doing already. So you already got this, high demanding offense. You're gonna have to pit up points like that, and I don't think that Westlake can pit up points enough to keep up with Carrollton. Yeah, so I mean, again, love Westlake. Really think they're a really good team. I hope they go really far in the playoffs, but it's going to be hard to pit up points. Like you're literally going to have to pit up. You're going to either have to pit up as much points as them or keep the ball out of their hands. That's one or two ways that you can be. So say again.
I said at least you got to put up at least 35 points, and I just don't see it.
Correct. At the very least, I think you got to do like 38 at least, just to even get to that threshold. Because like we're saying, they're averaging about 40 something points a game. So. It's gonna be a hard task for them to do. Can it do it? Yeah, sure. But it's nobody have done it yet except Langston Hughes. But that game was the first game of the season. High part play. highly quality quarterbacks going against each other. So I think this is going to be a good game still. I love to go and watch it, but I just think that Carrollton's offensive powers should be too much.
Thanks.
All right, cool. All right, well, that's going to do it for us today, guys. We appreciate y'all allowing us to get to our first podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed.
No hoops?
Huh?
Yeah,
no hoops. What we doing?
Oh, you want? All right. Let's get the hoops. Let you get the hoops. But I'll let you guys end it off with the hoop stuff. So let's get to our last segment. I'm gonna let you guys name the segment for the first podcast. We don't have it right now, but I'm gonna let you guys come up with the name for the hoops talk real quick. Because I'm not a hoops guy. I'm gonna let these guys, do their hoops thing.
When it gets comfortable, we can call this segment. We might well call it now 3-Man Weave. But yeah, go ahead, Naj.
3-Man Weave. That sounds good to me. 3-Man Weave. I know what that is, dog. You have to run that shit in practice. 3-Man Weave.
Yes, sir.
All right, okay. I'll go ahead and start it up. So I want to talk about a little bit about this preseason all-state list, Bacon. I want to get your thoughts on it too, man. So this came from Sandy Spill. Got Josh Dixon from Milton, Jakari Harris from Grayson, Kai Fleming Osborne. You know him well. Covered him for a minute. Ace Bailey, McEachern, Jacob Wilkins. That's the son of Dominique Wilkins for Grayson. He also got second team Luke Flynn from Walton, Trajan Greco, the one we've seen ball out. For Mill Creek in football, Will Moore, West Forsyth, Kamari Holmes, Archer, Caleb Odom, the star football player going to Alabama for Carrollton. We'll see if he plays or not. Jay Nash from McEachern, Anthony Goss from Milton on third team, Ricky McKenzie Wheeler, David Clark Wheeler, and then Elias Williams from Camden County. So what's your thoughts, man?
Did you bring up the shooting guard from McEachern too? I can't remember.
I don't think he did. He might have made his first team. I know he had a first team, second team, third team, and then he had a first team for each classification. I didn't want to go through all that. I just want to go through like the main part.
So you want my thoughts on the list?
Yeah. What's your thoughts, man?
Yeah,
you more in the hoop. Yeah, you more in the hoops than I am a little bit.
Solid list, top to bottom, man. It's got all the heavy hitters on there: Harris, Akai, Ace Bailey. I would say this is he's not like a premier, but he's a good point guard, solid point guard. I can't remember his name. So it's Caleb something at a Pebblebrook High School point guard. Played with the EYBL Nike team, black. I cannot remember the name of the team right now. Maybe it'll come to me later. But you know what I'm saying, solid point guard, one of the true point guards. Pass it. Get in the lane, crafty guard. He's a smaller guard, can get in the lane, make the shots, floaters. But back to the list, yes, solid list, man. Kyle definitely knows what he's doing, been at it for a while, man. So I concur. I think the big talk is the matchup. First big matchup in Georgia is the McEachern versus Grayson. I'm gonna roll McEachern just because you got the Ace Bailey. You got the shooting guard that I can't think of right now. You got the number 30. He's kind of like the Dennis Rodman. He's got kind of like a lower cut. You know what I'm talking about? If you know what I'm talking about, they got a good gritty team, man. I doubt JD Palmer play this year. It's unfortunate last year with his condition, but I still think that it added enough to beat Grayson. Grayson is a team kind of like a Buford, throwing a lot of talent together. Can it mesh in time? McEachern boys have been hooping together for a while, and like two of them that's on McEachern right now. They played on the game league, so they're gonna have a little chemistry there, translating with Ace fireworks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that game. I'm taking Grayson, dog. Grayson, mark this date down, October 17th. Grayson is my favorite from 7A, dog. They got too much talent. Them boys be hooping. They made it all the way last year to the semifinals, man. Coach Jeffrey Pierce does a good job. You add Jacob Wilkins to that team from that good team, that semifinal team from last year. You got Jakari Harris another year at the helm, his final season with the program. Amir Taylor, possibly Colin Fox. We'll see if he plays or not. They got some dudes, man. I'm telling you. Obviously, McEachern is going to be good, but at the same time, I'm telling you, man, Grayson got the talent. Grayson's going to be a team to beat this year. They're going to put it on full display. Trust me. But real quick, before we transition to the next one, Nigel Thomas, they're going to give him some love. He did make a preseason all-state list. I think he made third team. This wasn't on the one I just said, but he's the tall 6'10". Coach's son, B.J. Thomas from McDonough. Got to get some love to McDonough out there. He's going to be a critical part of the team, right? Because they're only going to bring back Keenan Gray, but he's going to be probably a big focal point of the offense. They graduated their three-headed trio of Avonte Nichols, Ahmad McDowell, and Davion Thomas, electric players. So I can't wait to see what he's going to look like this year. Got to get some love to Jacob Wilkins as well. Can't wait to see, as I just mentioned, how he fits into that Grayson program, formerly of Parkview. That roster is deep, as I alluded to. That is going to be a lot of fun. So those are a couple players I wanted to highlight for we move to our next topic. But yeah, I got Grayson in that big McEachern matchup.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
All right, man. Well, y'all got anything else y'all want to talk about real quick?
Yeah, I want to shout out Haley Swain. If you're watching and you don't know anything about the women's hoops, you can start at Holy Innocents. They got a lot of good things going on. Haley Swain got the gold medal this year in the I guess FIBA. She's tough. Another guard, Zana Preston. She's cold as well. Will you get ready to say something, Naj? Will you get to bring up a topic?
Yeah, we got a couple more. Okay, so AJ Dye Boston, we got to talk about him, man. That reclassification in 2025, now the number one player, was the Massachusetts boys basketball Gatorade Player of the Year. Great freshman season, 19.1 points per game, 9.6 rebounds, 2.9 assists, and 2.5 blocks. He is now with Prolific Prep in California. That team loaded, bro. They got Tyron Stokes too, man. I mean, what do you think about that reclassification, man? And just him playing on that new team, man. They look deep.
He'll be fine, man. Because I believe he played 17U on the EYBL circuit.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he played up to 17U this year. I believe he was one of the leading scorers. So man, anytime you can do that on one of the hardest basketball competition for the grassroots level, you know what I'm saying, you can do what you want. Kind of like what Cooper Flag did. So not I can't say I'm surprised knowing his skill set. I guess you could say I was kind of hoping to see 2 more years, but most is chasing the bag these days. If you got the talent, you got the personality, why not?
True that. Well, two more we're going to talk about to wrap up the show today. Two commitments I want to get your thoughts on. Kyle Green commits to UCF. Talked a little bit to Raw. Got to give a shout out to Raw Digital, man. He do a good job with the hoop stuff. But he said his dad really fell in love with the coach, man. And I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I got a chance to see him play against McDonough. Kid can play an elite 3-level scorer, in my opinion. Great playmaker, can get his teammates involved. Has a quick first step. Great at penetrating in the lane and finishing through contact. I think he's gonna bring a lot to that team. Probably numbers wise, probably going to be a lot better this year. 12 points, 6 assists, 3 steals last year. I see that could easily be 20-plus points, probably about 7, 8 assists, and probably about 3 or 4 steals. So I'm looking for him to have a big year. He led Pace Academy to a state title along with head coach Sharman White and Eric Chatfield. Dynamic backcourt pair between those two. But what's just your thoughts real quick on that commitment?
Yeah, I'm not too knowledgeable about UCF hoops. There's a lot of Georgia talent going down there, so maybe they're trying to have a pipeline to go to UCF in football and basketball. But you know what I'm saying? I like it. I like it for him. I like it for the young man. Going somewhere, I guess, right now where he can be one of the focal points of the offense. Crafty guard, like you said, is a 3-level scorer, can do it all, play defense, averaging 3 steals. Definitely, man. Pace can definitely go get another one this year, man. So yeah, shout out to Kyle Green and coach. I can't remember his name, but he's well respected in the basketball space.
Yes, sir. Well, last one we got, Chase McCarty commits to Houston. You've seen him play a little bit. I got to see him play in the Tip-Off Classic this past summer. Kid game is just smooth, man. He can create off the dribble. I think good enough of a playmaker to get teammates involved. Also got a pretty good knockdown shot, man. Some have kind of criticized how it comes out of his hands, but I think he's a pretty good knockdown shooter. Also good at finishing around the rim. One of the more complete players, I think, in this class. But Houston gets a pretty phenomenal player.
Yeah. Do you know anything about the Houston recruiting class?
Nah, man, I don't know a lot about their recruiting class. I know usually Houston is pretty decent when it comes to basketball. I think they just landed another commit as well. Another 4-star commit, including him. Let me see. I'm about to pull it up now.
Okay.
So it'd be 2024 class. Okay, nationally right now they're 20th. In the Big 12, they are 5th. Got an overall score from On3 of 92.9. So that's where they kind of have them at currently right now. Let's see. See the players. So right now they got Jamal Sheed of Maynard, Cedric Lath of Liberty, Ramon Walker of Shallow Creek, LJ Cryer of Morton Ranch, Javier Francis of Montverde Academy, Damian Dunn of Meadow Creek Kingston, and Jacoby McFarland of Rancho Verde. That's what they got so far right now.
That's a good list. That
Yep.
yeah, Houston has been hot as of late. I like it. I like to think of him as a big body Benz. You know what I'm saying? He's got a thicker frame,
Yep.
can move you out the way. He can shoot the ball exceptionally well. Coming from Huntsville, Pipeline for grassroots basketball. Got a little Memphis influence, a little Georgia influence. So yeah, playing at not playing at, he played at OTE last year, jumping to IMG. Surprised to see that. I thought it would have been locked in with OTE. We still got to see what that is because it seems like another rotation in the grassroots cog. But it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be a good move for him. He's gonna grow, and yes, sir, man. Shout out to Chase McCarty, his family, all of that, man. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be interesting to see him paying out this year. IMG. Back to you, Jerome.
Yeah.
My bad. Look like I got booted, bro.
You
Look like I got booted.
All right, man. Well, anything else you want to add to that, Najee?
Nah, man, that's it, man. I just want to say real quick, I know you're gonna wrap up the show, but enjoy this, man. This was fun, a nice way to spend the Tuesday night. We'll be better. Obviously, just the first podcast. Thing I love though is that at least we on here talking, having fun. So I think our audience will obviously gravitate towards that. Us kind of jacking, obviously joking around and having fun with each other and
Sure.
giving our takes on sports. I think audience will love that. So a lot of fun, man. Definitely appreciate you coming up with this idea and having us on here.
Yeah, man. I think this is going to be a great platform for us, not only just to talk sports, but to hang out. We're all friends outside of the sports realm as well. So it's a good way for us to connect. And, like you say, we all joking and laughing with each other, maybe at my expense, but it is what it is. Man, I love this, doing stuff like this, man. Just having my brother and talking what we love and doing what we love for sure. So if you guys can, like and subscribe to us, that really does help us. If you've seen how, it is with other commenters, we will put your comments on here. So as we go on through the season, we got playoffs coming, we got basketball season coming up. So if you guys are very interested in a lot of that stuff, to the First and Foremost podcast, we will have everybody's network all connected on here at some point. But as you see in that corner right there, you can see our social media. So go in there, like and subscribe, support each and every one of us. We have different things going on and different styles and different things that we got going on. So definitely make sure you go in there and support each one of us, because we all got great stuff going out, guys. So I'm gonna let you guys plug yourselves real quick if you want to do a quick plug.
Go ahead, Bacon. I just had the last one. Go ahead, Bacon. I'll go.
Sure. I also want to say this has been a smooth first segment of the 3-Man Weave, and overall the First and Foremost podcast. Beautiful thing. You can tap in with me on YouTube, Bacon Network, Instagram, Bacon Network _47, Twitter, Bacon Network LLC. We do a lot of things with the athletes behind the scenes, but just getting them together to play 7-on-7, or getting them together for sit-down interviews, what's in your bag series get ready to come. Probably going to do the first episode with Markel Aguirre at Luella, brother of Popo Aguirre, who's at Miami, who's at Whitewater, who's at Cedar Grove. So stay tuned to that. Stay tuned to the network. We got a lot of special things coming in. We might have some that you might not see. No lie, because it's just sizzling news. Yes, sir. Passing it on.
News. I love it. You already know us inside the hashes, man. It's in the background with the logos and everything like that. Doing all football content and everything. Hit up our YouTube channel, Inside the Hashes. You got to find on there. We got tons of interviews, tons of highlights and stuff like that you can look at and enjoy as well. Check us out on Twitter. We have 7,000 something, but we're planning on hitting 10,000 this year, so definitely help us out. Go and like or I'm sorry, it's not Twitter no more, it's X. X. I call myself though. On us on X, Inside Hashes, as you see in the corner right there. We're trying to get to 10,000. We really do appreciate all the support and everything like that. definitely support these brothers because they got a lot of great stuff that even inside the hatch is not doing. So definitely. Maji?
Yeah, last words, man. Once again, appreciate y'all. Stay tuned. If you like the content today, me and Bacon are going to be back live tomorrow with 4-star Malcolm Simmons from Benjamin Russell in Alabama. It will be live back on the YouTube channel if you're watching right now live. That will be a very fun interview. Got to talk to him at the Hoover, Alabama tournament. It was a lot of fun. We're going to catch up, see what he's up to, man. We got a lot of things in the works. Y'all go follow them two brothers, very smart individuals, doing some great work on their platforms, Jerome and also Arvon Bacon. Yes, Arvon, I got it right. I got it right. But yeah, man, we're gonna have some fun stuff on this podcast, man. We're gonna be having like hoop news. We're gonna be breaking down different stuff. We might even have a couple commitment decisions. Who knows, man? We all in the realm. We in the know.
Guests on here too, guys. You're gonna try to get some guests on here too. So
yeah, we're gonna get guests. So we're gonna have some good entertaining stuff, man. Y'all stay tuned. Y'all follow me on Twitter at Najee Woke. Link below is my Instagram page, Najee Woke TV. Y'all go check out my recent interview with Kyle Flocka. I was there for the exclusive commitment decision, did the interview. Y'all go check that out. I will have more of that kind of content coming out. I'm also meeting with the quarterback from North Gwinnett, who should be a starter, maybe not next year, but in the following upcoming years, Elam Ram. I'm going to talk to him on Sunday afternoon and do an exclusive interview with him. So I got a bunch of content. Y'all go follow me, and it will be a lot of fun. Y'all stay tuned. Every Tuesday going forward at 7:30, we'll be here live.
Man, this big man right here. Go for sure.
Yes.
So, thank you. This is the first episode of First and Foremost. We appreciate you guys. We enjoy being here, and we hope to see you next Tuesday. We're gonna try to do this every Tuesday around 7:30. We'll see about that.
Yes.
But we're gonna try to do this every Tuesday, guys. So, again, Jerome Jones. You got Bacon. You got Najee. Thank you guys so much for checking us out, and see you next one. Peace.
Peace.